final night of the Steve King Foundation Triple Crown about to go down. We've got two dirt races coming up, the small blocks at Charlotte, the big blocks at Eldora, and we end it right with the Cup Series at the World Center of Racing. Welcome to the final night of Week 13 in the Coast to Coast Racing League, and we are in for a treat this evening. As you take a look over the Big E Eldora Speedway, we'll be there in just a bit. We've got small blocks at Charlotte just around the corner. And there you see the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. All bets are off on the asphalt side of things. Who's going to take it home? We're going to find out in just a little bit. But we're so glad you could join us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you. We'll be joined alongside by Dean Reynolds in just a bit as Dean's currently continuing on with his practice. Well, you take a look at the times here as we get set to go for the dirt race. First time we've had the Mighty Modifieds on the brand new dirt update to iRace and a part of Week 13. I've been trying it out just a little bit. I gotta say, it is a lot of fun so far. Again, in what we've been doing so far is taking the best 4 results of 7 races and determining who the champion is. So, the best 4, so we've got 5 races in the book so far, and here's how the points look. Patrick Spangler has a 2-point advantage on Corey Boudinot. Joe Masso is just about 35 points back or so. And then you've got Randy Shreves 437 back and Cody Graham 39 back. 25 drivers is the car count for 358s here this evening. And let's get things going here with qualifying. First driver we will watch make their way onto the racetrack will be the 034 of Corey Boudinot. And it seems like, from the looks of it, it's going to come down to him and Patrick Spangler on who can take it all. But you never know what's going to happen. It is not over until it's over. Three minutes of qualifying for the drivers here. And we'll figure out everything here in just a bit. Got other guys to watch out for, like Isaac Salas, as well as Joseph Grandy. Dean Reynolds will also be a threat. Boudinot goes quickest, 16:06. Isaac Salas then takes the 05 to the top, 16:017. Zach Chapman tries to answer back as well. Chapman goes third quick. Final lap for Corey Boudinot. Can he get a better lap here? He's quickest in Sector 2. Gonna be close. Better by a couple thousandths from the looks of it. Randy Shreves goes to second quick at a 16:03 in the red line number 56. You see Shreves decides to test the cushion out and look for the better exit off turn number 4. Looks for a better lap. Quick time, 16:005 for the driver, the number 56, and Randy Shreves. What a lap that he just put up. Steven Spies then decides to answer back. Spies goes 15:965. He's got the lone 15-second lap, and Spies goes quick time in that situation. Tyler Wilson 14th quick. Cody Graham 9th quick. 2 drivers left to qualify with a minute left in time trials. That's Kelly Wheeler and John Krupa we wait on. And from the looks of it, it doesn't seem like anyone else will qualify. So if that stands, the Gambler 55 is on pole position. Let's know who you're rooting for in chat, who you got your eyes on. Hello to Megan. I guess you could say hello to Megan and Buddy, too, as they're rooting for Dean in chat. Hope you're doing well. So we will check and see here if the top 2 drivers get a bye from the heats and move directly to the feature. If not, then they will start on pole position, heats 1 and 2. Should be 4 heats scheduled here, if not 3 heats. I would expect it to be 4 heats. and it is a 4-heat show. So here's the starting lineup for heat race number 1. Steven Spies does have to race in this heat race. He starts on pole position next to 72, his teammate, Scooby-Doo Zach Chapman. Row number 2, the Graham Racing number 2 of Cody Graham, and the 39 of the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. Row number 3 in the inside, this 70 of Mike Cranmer. Next to the number 93 of the Venom Racing ride, Jason Butterfield, who is pretty good here at Charlotte. And rounding out the field, the number 5 of John Krupa, who has just about 20 seconds, if not a minute 20 seconds left to grid. And he does not make the call on in to the show.
He's still connected, too.
Yes, he is. What's going on, Dean?
Well, just trying to learn the new stuff. And I learned that I was trying to play the invert, I guess, and it didn't work because there was no invert. So that's my excuse for starting 4th in the heat, and I'm going to stick with it.
Well, what do you think of this new dirt package so far?
I actually haven't raced enough on it. The only thing is my steering just feels weird. I haven't felt comfortable on it yet, but that's probably the same boat for everybody.
Green is out. We're underway for Heat 1.
Oh, hang on.
We got John Krupa already, excuse me, Cody Graham already sideways as the field makes their way into turns number 3 and 4. There goes Zach Chapman around.
And Butterfield just said thank you.
Absolutely. Jason Butterfield. Hey, if you ain't first, you're last. Butterfield just proved that point.
The newest Venom team member.
So he goes to the lead. Mike Cranmer second. Steven Spies third. Cody Graham is fourth. Remember, there is a last chance showdown here because we've got a 25 driver car count. And so that 4th and final transfer spot is huge at the moment, Dean.
Yeah, and with a lot of us diving into the first time with this, you just don't know what to expect. So you really want to get through the heat so you can go into concentrate in the feature.
Absolutely. Butterfield currently the quickest at a 16.2. But Mike Cranmer, though, starting to close in that number 70.
Yeah, Mike's looking good, running a little bit higher groove. And it seems to be working for him.
On board with the 70, Mike Cranmer. Was 200 slower last time by. Patrick Spangler's taking the 39 in the pits. Steven Spies, though, also tries to close in. He just ran a 15.99. It's been a lot of fun watching the dirt races here this week. Tuesday night, I was on the call for midgets and pro late models. Did you hear about the car count, about the fall-off count we had for midgets, Dean?
No, I haven't.
2.
Well, and actually, no, I watched a little bit of the highlights, and I saw how they were kind of lawn mowing going through the grass.
Yes.
Because it must have been enough fight in the track. Yep. It must have been enough fight in the track where they had to stay low and shorten the track up.
Too much throttle for Mike Cranmer allows Steven Spies to go up on the outside. Upstairs to P2. Final laps underway. But can he close in on Jason Butterfield? Last time by Spies was a 10th and a half better. I don't think he's going to do it. The Venom Racing, number 93 through 3 and 4. He starts on pole position this evening. Butterfield takes it. Spies second, Mike Cranmer third, Cody Graham fourth. They're in the show. Zach Chapman, Patrick Spangler, John Krupa will move to the last chance showdown. Now we move to heat race number 2. It's Randy Shreves of the LGR 56 next to Kurt Schatzer. Superman starts from P2. Row number 2 is the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. And next to him, the Macho Man, Tyler Wilson in the Training Wheels 42. Row number 3, rounding out the field, is Joe Dirk Canellis in car number 1 and the 337 of Paul Thompson.
Good to see Joe and Paul back in the modified fold a little bit.
We also had on dirt yesterday too, Dean, a brilliant 305 sprint race from what I saw.
It wasn't me.
From what I heard in the highlights.
Oh, I was a disaster. Oh my God. I won my heat and I started outside pole, and that was the worst thing that could happen to the rest of the field.
410s was also wild, and then we had this, and then we had the enduro where Isaac won by like 2 laps or something. So
now that 305 was definitely a little bit of an eye opener for me. I went in with 10 laps of practice thinking it was going to feel the same. Nope.
Here we go for the heat 2 green. It's Schatzer and Shreves that bring them down again. Top 4 transfer. Winner starts from second in the feature. Ooh, bad corner for Joe Canellis. Already falls to the back. Barker looks for the slower exit. Doesn't work. Shreves shuts the door on Tyler Wilson. The Brewerton Bees underneath for P2, but it's Schatzer that leads lap 1, Dean.
Yeah, Schatzer and Shreves are, you know, they iRace and they run a lot of different classes, so I think they will adapt a little bit quicker to this new build, even though it might be a different car than what they're used to. But the one I'm interested in is Tyler Wilson, because he won that 305 race and was like 2/10 quicker than all of us last night, and he doesn't run a mod at all. Look where he is right now.
In third position, normally races with us on Monday nights with the Training Wheels crew. He's got Barker closing in for the third spot. Top 4 currently nose to tail. Paul Thompson, the first one out by 1.1 seconds on the Brewerton Bees. Schatzer still leads. Different lines, though, by the top 3 going in the corner. Shreves wants to see if he can get a better exit on the top, but it's just not coming in for anyone.
Well, and the interesting point is that we're carrying the track over, and we've had a lot of warm-ups in that, and the track doesn't look like it wears like it did in the first season, the last season, where you got that shine from bottom to top. So you really don't know what lane to run because it's kind of not built up and not worn out.
Shreves with a nice exit, closes into about a car length. Last time by, Schatzer was a 10th better, or a 100th better than Shreves. Let's see how it is in the line with 2 to go. It's Schatzer again by 100th. No one giving up here. Meanwhile, Wilson up the track. Here comes Barker for P3, Dean.
Yeah, Jeff ran the matinee this morning, so he's got a little bit of practice on the set, so he should be able to take advantage of that.
Final lap underway. Schatzer up the track. Shreves with an opportunity. All over that rear bumper bar. As they go through 3 and 4, is there anything the 56 can do about it? Goes all in on the throttle off for turn 4. Almost the quarter panel. And Schatzer wins Heat 2. Wilson absolutely was a good run. Wilson and Barker 3rd and 4th. Thompson, Canellis to the B main. Dean, I'll put you on mute here, bud. Best of luck, all right?
Thank you, sir.
All right, so we move on to heat race number 3, and here's the starting lineup. Isaac Salas on pole position. Next to the mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. That is Venom Racing and a Salty Dog that share row 1. Row number 2, another Venom driver, Mark Gilbert in the 17. Next to his teammate, Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 3, it's 100 grand. Joseph Grandi, a multi-time champion this year in Coast to Coast. Next to 25, a brand new AMSOIL paint scheme for Gary Sigelkow out of Venom. Six cars, 4 move on. Winner starts from 3rd position in tonight's feature. Here we go. Ooh, stack up amongst the front row. Oh, we're wrecking already. Bixler, Dean around, and Gary Sigelkow. Go, Gary, go. He's in 4th. Race is on, though, for P2 between Gilbert and Grandi, but it's Salas who leads lap number 1. Now, remember, in the B main, only 1 driver is going home because of the 25-person car count. Gilbert sends it underneath. Overload doesn't work. Let's just take a look at what happened at the jump here with the outside column of the first 2 rows. Salas came up to the Bixler, and Reynolds had nowhere to go. Three laps complete, and Gilbert is the better car from the looks of it on Isaac Salas. There he goes, the Moses 17 underneath for the lead. Slide job, Gilbert, no yaw off turn number 4. Salas keeps the lead as we're halfway home in Heat 3. Grandi still 3rd, Gary Sigelkow 4th with a 6-second advantage on Dean Reynolds. Back to a 3-car shootout for this top spot. Watch Grandi try to close in with 3 to go in this heat. Into turn 3, another send from Gilbert. Car lengths separate the top two. 2 car lengths between second and third. Gilbert get a run here. Can't get it to work just yet on the white flag. 1 to go. Had a photo finish in Heat 2. Will we see it in Heat 3 once again? Let's see. Happening the high side through 3 and 4. Grandy tries to send it. Coming to the checkers. Salas wins the heat. Gilbert second, Grandy third. Gary Sigelkow makes the feature, as he is the final transfer spot in Heat 3. Reynolds and Bixler to the B main. Now we move on to Heat 4. Here's the starting lineup. Corey Buno and Brian Lawson make up the front row. And then you got in row 2, Jeff Sharp in car 28, and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Joe Masso in the 63 is on the inside of row 3. No call from Kelly Wheeler to the grid this evening. A lot of new paint schemes here. You take a look at the guys like Brian Lawson in that Super Dirt Car Series sponsored ride. Terry Landis normally with the Yoo-Hoo ride. That's a nice paint scheme he's got in that 161. With Galen's homegrown popcorn all over it, the Kreitz Sim Racing ride. Ready for the final heat race. Look at the packed crowd here at Charlotte too. Great to see. Buno clears early, but a nice exit from Brian Lawson as the field goes down the back. You don't want to finish last here, because if you finish last, you're going to the last chance showdown. Race for third is on between Jeff Sharp and Terry Landis. Can Sharp clear the Desert Demon off of turn 2? Yes, he can. The Moose member wants a run on the 161. Continue to fight back at it. If you took out the red on Terry Landis' paint scheme, he's got a paint job that reminds me a lot of Matt Shepard's ride with the blue and white on it. 3 laps complete. Buno still leads Lawson as Landis and Sharp have been door-to-door for the past lap or so. There you see Landis with the send. Ooh. Man, Landis oh so close to hitting the Tory tires. And Corey Buno saying, thanks, boys, I'll take it from here, because it's a 4-car garage knob for P2. You got Masso and no yaw off the corner. That's going to hurt his speed. Allow Sharp to pull away on that final transfer spot. Sharp scraped the wall down the back. Doesn't affect his speed. He's got a run for P2 on Brian Lawson. 2 to go in the heat. Landis still hanging on for the final spot. Final lap underway here in the heat. Oh, Joe Masso's got a chance on Terry Landis here in the 3 and 4. You know who's going to win this heat race. It's Buno. Who's going to get it for 4th at the line? Masso edges out Landis by half a tenth. And so now we move on to the B main. 1 driver goes home. And here's how they lined up. This is a stacked B main, folks. Scooby-Doo Zach Chapman's on pole position next to the 337 of Paul Thompson. Row 2 is the 79 of Dean Reynolds and the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Oh, that was a heartbreak for him not to make it. Row 3, the 39, the high side banger, Patrick Spangler, and the 1 of Joe Canellis. And row 4 on the inside, the 75 of Steve Bixler, and the outside, the 110 of Kelly Wheeler. John Krupa starts from 9th. Now, 3 drivers decided not to grid here. So this is a developing story. They've got 5 seconds, though. Three drivers decided not to take the green flag initially, wait a couple seconds. So I think the real question is who won't make it in? I would say Kelly Wheeler, because Kelly didn't take part in a heat race. We'll see. Krupa's in after missing his heat. Here we go for heat the B-main. We're underway. 3 wide, Landis, Thompson, Canellis pile up. And there you see Spangler. He decided to start from the pits and helped use it to his advantage. Or well, at least try to. So is it Wheeler or Bixler that make the final transfer spot? We'll just have to wait and see. Chapman leads on Dean Reynolds. John Krupa's third. A lot of yaw from Zach Chapman allows Dean to close in just a bit. Up the track goes the 72. Here comes Dino looking for the lead. Slide job, Dino. And he goes to the point. Halfway home in heat, in the B main rather. Three to go. Quickest lap for Dean that last time by, 16.1. This is the best battle on the track to see who starts 17th tonight. White flag about to come out. Got a race developing for the 4 spot 2 between Terry Landis and Paul Thompson. We'll just have to see who makes it in and who goes home, either Kelly Wheeler or Steve Bixler. I would assume it goes to Bixler. Off of turn 4, Dino takes the B main, starts from 17th. Zach Chapman 2nd, John Krupa 3rd, Landis 4th, Thompson 5th, Spangler 6th. So he was able to pass Joe Canellis and make up just about a lap. And from the sounds of it, Bixler will make the show. And so we've got our warm-up about to take place. We'll step aside, and we'll be back. ready for the feature here. 30 laps around the dirt track at Charlotte. Let's meet the field. Here is your starting lineup. On the front row is Jason Butterfield in the number 93 and Superman Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Row 2, it's Sly Job Isaac Salas in the 5 and Corey Boudinot in the 34. Row number 3, Steven Speeds the Detective in the 55 and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 4, Mark Gilbert in car 17 and Jeff Sharp in the 28. Rounding out your top 10 this evening is Mike Cranmer in the 70 and the Macho Man Tyler Wilson in the 42. Row 6 is 100 Grant, Joseph Grandy in the 518 and Brian Lawson in the 9. Second half of the grid. Cody Graham in the 2 and the Burton Beast, Jeff Barker, that's row number 7. Row number 8, Gary Sigelkow in car 25. Next is Zach Chapman, Scooby-Doo's in the 72. Row 9 is Dean Reynolds in the 79 and Scooby-Doo Zach Chapman in the 72. Pardon me, Joe Masso starts in 16. Row 10, John Krupa in the 5 and the Desert Demon, Terry Landis in the 161. Row 11, Paul Thompson in the 337 and the high side banger, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Rounding out the field is Joe Dirk Canellis in the 1. No call for Steven Bixler to grid. Lights are off. We go green. Next time by as drivers follow the Steve King Foundation pace car. Let us know your pick to win in the chat. I got an idea on who I think is going to win it. I don't want to jinx him though. But we've got 23 cages of cold metal with hot rubber at the corners that are set to do battle for 30 laps at Charlotte. The penultimate race on the dirt side of the Triple Crown. It's about to go down. Schatzer and Butterfield bring us to the green flag. Let's get down to business. Trouble in one already, and we've got one sideways with others collected. That is Joseph Grandy in the 513. Joe Canellis also caught up. We go to caution early. You see the front nose clip is off of the 518, some of the sheet metal. We'll take a look and see what happened to 100 Grand. Bumps the 70. Collects the 2. Keep in mind as well, there is something new the drivers will have to deal with the modifieds, and it's turned off normally for a lot of people. And it's that rock guard. Normally it's turned off on the setup. You have the option to turn it on, but with the new stuff in the season for iRacing, it is on. You have the option though now in graphics to turn it off, and I don't think anyone really wants to turn it off to keep the simulation alive. So you saw the bumper there, and you see the left rear damage on the 518. Won't use a quick repair yet. I would guess that Granny wants to get a good idea for how the car will drive before deciding to go for a quick repair or not. Here's the newest member of Venom Racing, Butterfield in the 93. Field is doubled up. We'll try this restart once again. Everyone in their same spots with the exception of Grandy and Canellis as they start from the back. One lap goes up on the board this time here at Charlotte. Well, let's do it once again. Three wide with Lawson in the middle, just about mid-pack. But it's Jason Butterfield that gets off to the jump. Isaac Salas looks underneath for second on Kurt Schatzer. Can he get at the line? He cannot. Caution is out. No caution. I saw a lot of crashes pop up at the bottom right of my screen, but it's 2 by 2. We're back. Now we get the yellow Zach Chapman in the 72. Here's a look at how your field looks. as Scooby-Doo went around and finished second in the B main. Let's show you what happened. Chapman 6th in the standings. Coming on in. I think he just got some slight contact from Krupa. Yeah, or did he get hit from behind by Grandy? Nice 360 though for Chapman. Give him some credit. Now I wonder if Joseph Grandy gave a bump to Krupa, or did Krupa just go off the track? Yep. Krupa's car just mishandled. So field ready to double back up. Should be one lap to the green flag this time by. So it's Butterfield and Schatzer, row number 1. Salas and Boudinot, row 2. Shreves and Spies, row 3. Row 4 is Sharp and Gilbert. Your top 10, rounding them out, is Wilson and Graham. There goes Butterfield. He immediately catches Schatzer sleeping. We're back to the green. So Salas, can he get P2 off turn 2? Schatzer with the drive off the corner, hangs onto it. Salas shuts the door on Boudinot for that bottom step of the podium. Now can Schatzer look on top? It's 3 wide for 4th. Speeds up in the middle. Shreves with a bad exit. And moving to 4th is Boudinot. Speeds back to 5th. Shreves 6th. Gilbert 7th. Quickest car. Cody Graham in 8th. Ooh, in the wall goes Shreves for just a moment. Way up the racetrack. And could fall outside the top 10. 2 drivers have crashed, Cooper and Canellis, and nearly Tyler Wilson. No caution. We stay underneath the green flag for right now. Everyone stays single file out for right now except for Boudinot. John Krupa has crashed, no caution flag either. We stay green. Krupa wants that bottom, Boudinot wants that bottom to work. It's just not coming in his way. Here goes Schatzer though. Looks for the lead, he sends it in up the track. He forces Butterfield to go up the racetrack. 3 wide for the lead, here comes Salas. And lets off to allow Schatzer to take the bottom. But watch Salas try and get a run off turn 2. Butterfield, some sensational defense to hang on to the lead early. Salas stays put in 3rd. Boudinot stays in 4th. And your best race on the track is at the front of the field. Schatzer pulls up to the quarter panel once again. Butterfield tries to defend, but a slide job from Schatzer. Up the racetrack he goes. He may even lose 2 spots here. Butterfield takes the lead back off the crisscross. Salas get the bite off turn 2. Butterfield sideways off the corner. Too much right foot into it. Speeds wants 4th on Corey Boudinot. Does that work out? Oh, Salas up in the wall, and around he goes. Oh, heavy crash. Tyler Wilson up and over. Randy Shreves is caught up in the yellow flies with a third of the way through this one. And Isaac is going to be furious at somebody, that's for sure. Another angle of what happened. This is a heartbreak, folks. Boudinot just hooked him, had the lane. We'll have to watch with Boudinot. There's the big lick there with Tyler Wilson. Ouchies. Look for the aerial shot here. Can't see it there. You see it's already turned around, and Wilson nowhere to go, had the lane figured out. Right on board here with slide job. He just got hooked, I believe. But let's look from Boudinot's on board. Yeah, he hooked him. Let's watch Tyler Wilson in the 42. Bam. Right side panel damage. Nothing on the left though. One more to watch for you. Here's Randy Shreves, the final car involved. Just did not see that coming. Field is doubled up as we come to green. Jason Butterfield, Kurt Schatzer, row 1. Corey Boudinot and Steven Spees, row 2. Mark Gilbert, Cody Graham, row number 3. Jeff Sharp, Ryan Lawson, Dean Reynolds, Jeff Barker. That's the top 10. Here we go. Remember, the leader does, Butterfield does hold serve. It's 3 wide for second. Spees look top side to let off just a bit. Barker slows back in the 5:13 for a bit. Boudinot tries to slide up on Schatzer. He cannot. Schatzer hangs on to second, and here comes the detective. But some slight contact for fourth, dealing even more contact with Mark Gilbert behind. 4 wide into turn number 3, 5 wide. Just about in turn 3 if Barker had enough room. Holy moly. I don't think I've ever seen 5 wide in a modified race in coast to coast before. Holy cow. Tyler Wilson's crashed it once again, no yellow. Race for 6, Cody Graham takes it. He wants Gilbert to crack into the top 5. And your biggest mover of the race is in 10. Patrick Spangler up 12 spots, yellow for a big one. Mike Cranmer, Paul Thompson. And we're hearing Joseph Grandy and Terry Landis may be also involved. Ziggo Cal also involved in the aftermath. Let's take a look. In the back of the field, watch Cranmer in the 70 while we've got the perspective of Mike. He just got Joseph Grandy. Solis involved as well. And we also had some extracurriculars. Watch Gary Sigelcow in the 25 because we saw him around. Watch in front. Oh my goodness, Barker turned Spangler. Wow, 2 separate incidents. It's right on board with Joseph Grandy. Nice 360 though. And then let's watch the 63 of Joe Masso. Racing Sigelcow for a position. Nowhere to go. Just did not see that coming when the yellow came out. We'll rack them and stack them back up. Cross flags fly, go up this time by Jason Butterfield and Kurt Schatzer, row 1. Corey Boudinot, Steven Spees, row 2. Mark Gilbert, Cody Graham, row 3. Lawson, Sharp, Reynolds, Barker round out the top 10. We're back at it. Man. Boudinot nearly hits the Tory tires. It's 3 by 3 behind the 93. Can Spees get second at the line? He can. Great restart by the detective, who's got a dirt win in the midgets earlier this week. Some slight contact with the 218 of Schatzer. Caution, Joe Canellis. Upside down in 3 and 4. And immediately to the pits to see if he can get a quick repair. As Joe Dirt went on a ride. So Spees with a big advantage as he moves to second. Which was a great restart for him. Did Canellis catch the wall and ride it? Yep, he did. Well, not really ride it. He caught it. And it was at that angle which brings it out of pit road. Right on board here with Joe. You see what we're talking about right there. And there it is, how the wall angles out. That happened with another big block driver at World Finals last year. I think that was Keith Flack in the 43. Dean, if you're watching or hearing this, correct me if I'm wrong. Got him doubled up. Jason Butterfield and Steven Spees, row number 1. Corey Boudinot, Kurt Schatzer, row 2. Mark Gilbert, Cody Graham, row 3. Dean Reynolds, Brian Lawson, row 4. Isaac Salas is back at the top 10 after getting spun out earlier in this one. Watch things closely. If he catches back up to Boudinot in the top 5, we'll see what happens as we go back to green. Ooh, Schatzer, a bad restart. Nearly fell all the way back to 4th spot. Tries to hold on to it over the 34 of Boudinot. Grab a little loosey-goosey entering turn 3. Speeds wants the lead on Butterfield. Doesn't work. It does not yet. Look out. Turn 4. Reynolds, Salas, Graham, and a whole bunch of them. Graham is up and over. Landis is on his side. And that could do it for a bunch of them this evening. Watch here off turn number 4. Graham, Gilbert, and a chain reaction just behind them. A lot of onboards to watch with you here. Let's go to Terry Landis. Nowhere to go, one bet. Jeff Barker. Here's the wild ride here from Cody Graham. Yeah, you saw that Gilbert contact, and he was just on for the ride. Check and see if we're going back to green yet. Should go 1 to green this time by. Let's watch one more on board here. We'll go from Dean. We have had the heaviest hit of the bunch right here. So 6 through 10 is now Lawson, Sharp, Spangler, Chapman, and Grandy. And Grandy's been in a couple accidents this evening. We've got 11 laps to go. Back to the green. Schatzer underneath, Gilbert underneath. Lawson a little loose in turn 2. Possible chance for Spangler in the 39. Not really. Here goes the detective for the lead on the 93. Spangler, is he well? No, he saves it. Oh, man. Heavy hits, and Dean is on his side. Good grief. We had something else happen, but this may have been the actual cause of the yellow right here. With Gary Sigelkow. Nope. Ooh, that was the big hit right there. That came all from Gary, and I think he was hooked. Nope, he was able to back away from it. A little bit of a close-up of Weber with Spangler. Zach Chapman caught him. There's Grandy. Chapman with a heavy, heavy impact. Right on board with Spangler. Let's go to Dean. Cody Graham. Finally, here's Jeff Barker. Was about ready to miss it, then pile drives the 2 of Cody. Single file restarts for the rest of this race as we are at 10 laps to go. Butterfield, Spies, Boudinot, Schatzer, Gilbert, your top 5. Lawson, Sharp, Shreves, Grandy, Masso, the top 10. 19 drivers remain on the lead lap. We're back to green, a stack up from 4th on back. Don't know if there was any brake checking or whatnot. Schatzer wants the 3rd position back. Not able to get it. 8 laps remaining. Good race on for this spot. 8th position. Shreves tries to drive Grandy all the way down low. Just give him enough room. And these are 2 drivers without any front ends either. And they are hanging on the top 10 spark. Look how beat up the 2 car is of Cody Graham. Oh, Cody's to the wall again. And that just DQ'd him for the evening. 3-car race for second. Schatzer tries to slide up on Boudinot. 6 laps remaining. Boudinot nearly squeezed up in the wall. Schatzer into the 55. Steven Spies with a brilliant save. And Corey Boudinot gets turned from Gilbert. Oh, and Barker's involved as well. Well, that was wild. And I think that just saved Steven Spies from losing his spot. First thing, Cody Graham's DQ. Reeves up in the 2, and he was done for the night because of the 12X. And here's what happened to the 34 of Corey Boudinot. Schatzer in the Spies with a nice save. And then it's just a stack up, and Gilbert gets into the 34. And then Barker commanded the... I don't know what Barker's thinking there, honestly. Because, I mean, he had a lot of time to move to the left. But, hey, when you commit to a lane, there's no turning back. On board with Corey. So Boudinot uses his quick repair. This race is just... We've seen everything except for the leader losing the lead. Butterfield leads. Spies is second. 3rd Schatzer. 4th Gilbert. 5th Lawson. Patrick Spangler, the biggest mover. He's back in the top 10, currently in 8th. 5-lap shootout to see who takes this one at Charlotte. Butterfield holds serve. Spies. Does he wash up the track? He does. Hangs on to 2nd. Lawson in a fight for 5th with Jeff Sharp. We've got Gilbert who wants the podium on Kurt Schatzer. He's had a great week so far. Tuesday was probably the best day of them all. Spies for the lead on Jason Butterfield. They're side by side down the back. Drive off gives the 93 the advantage. 3 laps to go in the 358s at Charlotte. 4 drivers a chance to win it all. Schatzer looks for a run up on the outside. This is a big moment here. This could help out Butterfield trying to pull away. 2 laps to go here. Spies edges out Schatzer for 2nd. Can Speed throw the slide job? He puts Schatzer up in the wall. Gilbert moves up to third. Lawson races Superman for the fourth position. The 9 throws the slide job. Up he goes, down goes Schatzer for fourth. White flag is out. 1 to go for Jason Butterfield. He started on pole. He's led all 29 laps, and the newest driver out of the Venom Racing team is about to lead all 30. Coming to the checkered flag. Butterfield wins in the 358s. Speed second, Gilbert third, Lawson fourth, and Schatzer fifth. Patrick Spangler, the biggest mover, up 16 spots to finish in P6. Top 3 about to do a podium. Here comes Dino. I'm by to say good race, boys. Good race. So while we get the top 3 on in here, look at your results from the 358 race. 1 race. Oh, you just missed it. You just missed it. Look at this. Hang on. Let's rewind this. You just missed it. Look at that. All right, back to the results here. Butterfield with the win. Spees second. Mark Gilbert third. Fourth Brian Lawson. Fifth Kurt Schatzer. Sixth Patrick Spangler. Seventh Jeff Sharp. Eighth Randy Shreves. Ninth Joe Masso. And 10th was Dean Reynolds tonight. 16 drivers finished on the lead lap. Here's a look at 21 through 24. Wilson, Canellis, Krupa, and Bixler. And so we've got your top 3 waiting. And we'll begin things off here with the driver of the 17, Mark Gilbert. Mark, walk us through your race starting from 7th to finish 3rd.
Well, Marty, it was a pretty good 358 race. I wish we could have had some more green flag laps because I had a pretty fast car there. I kept getting stuck on the bottom on the restarts, just didn't have anywhere to go. But 7th to 3rd, we'll take the podium in this one. And a special shout out to Jason Butterfield and his win there. Great win for him.
Did you feel like if this race did have a long run that you felt like you would have the best car of everyone?
Yeah, I felt the car was really hooked up there. Even the little bit of green flag run we had, I was just pulling on him so good. We would have had a shot to win this thing if it went green.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Venom Racing, everybody over there. Again, shout out to Jason on his win, new Venom driver there, so that's pretty cool. RCP Cockpits for this rig they got me in, W Energy for the focus and energy to get through this night, and that's about it. I'm gonna go hop in this big block, see what we can do in there.
All right, sounds good, man. Best of luck.
Hey, Marty, talk.
Let's go to our second place finisher in Steven Spees. Steven, you came close for Jason. What more did you need tonight?
The line that I had found earlier in the race kind of went away, and I hadn't found the new one yet. So I don't know if I had kind of used some tires up or what. But I think if we would have had fewer cautions in the middle of it, I think I had something for him then. But at the end, just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, many points in this race. You pulled up to Jason Butterfield. Was it just, the fact that your car was getting back into groove after restarts or whatnot?
Yeah, like I said, I had a line that I don't think he had found yet that was working pretty well for me, and was just able to get up there by him and just could never quite finish the pass. And then, like I said, I think if we could have raced a bit, I might have had something, but then the caution would come back out, and then you got to kind of start over and do it again, So it's just how it goes. But I can't complain about a second place. I don't really love these cars. I only drive them whenever I'm available for the C2C league, so it's just figuring out as I go. So happy with second.
Finally, you had to been really glad that final caution came out, because you were sideways and about to lose a podium spot.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I think it was Kurt maybe behind me, and I made kind of a last-second decision to try to run the bottom that lap, and I think caught him off guard and may have gotten my tail. I didn't go back and look at it, but that's what it felt like. Somebody kind of caught me as I was cutting down there, but no harm. I got lucky that the caution came out and saved me, and hopefully I didn't cut too much and screw them up. But I think that they're in one of those final laps. I know I was sliding up a little bit just to kind of the line I'd been running, and I think I may have nerfed Kurt. I got to go back and look. I'm gonna hope it's netcode or something, but I just didn't realize somebody was right on my corner. So if I nerfed him out of the way, public apologies are due there. But other than that, things went pretty well.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Yep, as we always, thanks to the Gambler teammates, always a good place to hang out and have some fun. And this week, whenever I get the chance to do the shout out, it's all got to be to the Steve King Foundation. I mean, that's why we're doing the whole charity thing. I love that we do it, multiple times a year. And I think that as far as the racing community goes, the Steve King Foundation fills a really important need, and hope that people always remember. And there's other times of the year where you're giving and looking to contribute to somewhere and help people out. I think it's a great cause.
Absolutely. All right, man, we'll let you go. Great job tonight. Hopefully we'll see you in the big block.
Yep, I think I'll be back.
All right, sounds good. Steven Spees, your second place finisher. To victory lane we go to talk with your winner and Jason Butterfield. Jason, how about that run leading all 30 laps with Venom?
Yeah, it was something. I thought, the track wore good. I liked the new update on it.
Did any of your Venom teammates give you a little advice coming on in on how to run the small block at Charlotte?
There at the end, I was getting some help from the guys, where to run, where I was actually hitting my marks good, and they gave me some tips throughout. They were a huge help.
Awesome. That final caution when it came out, just what were your thoughts on it? 'Cause, I know we had a lot of short runs tonight, but Steven and Kurt were trying everything that they had for you.
I knew I just had to catch them off their toes is what it was. I had to start differently than what I've been starting, and I knew if I could do that, I had faith that I could keep it.
Absolutely. Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
I got to thank all the guys at Venom. They just brought me on. This is my first race with them. It's a pleasure to do this for them. But most importantly, my wife, CJB Speedworks, Brewer and Brewer, Garofalo Imports, Otter Creek Lawnscapes, you for broadcasting it, and the guys for putting, the charity race on.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Congratulations.
Good job, Butters.
And best of luck in the big block.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Jason Butterfield, your winner. We'll step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's big block action. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Race fans, a shower of big block power. Let's ride. Race fans, a shower of big
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We are just about getting set for the big block portion here at Eldora. Marty Scala with you alongside Dean Reynolds. And Dean, the dirt standings are now closer and closer and closer. We have got, from the looks of it, with one race left to go, about 5 guys, I guess you could say, that are now contending for this championship.
Yeah, I was when I was in Venom Discord, Patrick Spangler was going over the points, and it does sound like you got a good race there. So that's cool. That's what the whole week is about. I mean, it's it's all about the Stephen King Foundation, but it's cool that you have a good race to showcase as well.
Absolutely. Here are your point standings coming on in. Patrick Spangler leads by 6 on Steven Spees. Mark Gilbert is 7 points back. 13 back is Corey Buno in 4th. And then 23 back is Jason Butterfield. Alrighty, we are set for qualifying here. And first driver we will watch on the racetrack is Isaac in the number 5.
Yeah, this is interesting because now everything has changed.
Yeah.
Usually your first lap is your quickest, and you want to get out there, maybe wait for the track to wear. But it's not now. Now your second lap is the quickest because your tires heat up. And you want to go as early as you can before the track wears out even more.
Absolutely. So, middle groove, the place to go for Salas here off at turn number 4. Jeff Sharp looks quicker. And he is at a 15.98. So, Sharp puts up the first 15-second lap here in the number 28 ride. Solis looks to go better. Corey Budino goes better to 15.91. Here comes Solis across the start-finish line. Is he better? Nope, he's slower. Jeff Sharp goes slower on lap 2. Go ahead, Dean.
Am I the slowest?
No, you are not.
How'd that happen? That was terrible.
I don't know. Quick time from Terry Landis.
I guess the bottom's where to run.
15.899 from the Desert Demon. And you said he ran the bottom?
I don't know, but that's what he normally likes.
And it paid off here. Normally out on the middle high side here for the quickest time.
I don't know if he ran there, but if he did, that's something I'm going to have to learn because I'm 5.5 tenths off of Terry's time. That's not good.
Randy Shreve 7th on lap 2, 16.12. We go to the detective, Stephen Spees, as he works on his final lap. Spees goes 7th at a 16.11. Here comes Cody Graham off at turn 4, and this will pretty much do it for qualifying. And he's third quick, 15.98. Well, that will pretty much do it here for qualifying. How about Terry Landis here, Dean? I think you called him when he won at Port Royal with the Renegades, Terry freaking Landis.
Yeah, Terry, I think, is feeling comfortable because he looked good in the sprint in the 305. He's looking good in the modified. And, that's what's cool. I mean, some guys are going to have to adapt to this build, and some guys it's going to fit their style. So I think here in the first couple of weeks, you're going to see some different names. And that's good. That's what this is. This is really cool. Oh, I'm in the third heat, Marty, so I can hang with you for a while.
Oh, awesome. Landis the quickest at a 15.899. That's pretty cool. And he is in heat race number 1. 3 heats. Everyone makes it in. Here's the starting lineup here. Pole position belongs to the Desert Demon and Terry Landis. And next to him is the 28 of Jeff Sharp. Row number 2 is the 513 of the Brewerton Beastain, Jeff Barker, and the 93 of Jason Butterfield. And in row number 3, it's the 181 of Jeff Kemper and the 39 of the high side banger, Patrick Spangler. So not the start that Spangler really wants here, Dean.
Yeah, and it could be the same thing like me. I mean, before all this, I was a decent time trial. Matter of fact, I was clamoring for the time trials to come back. Now I think I'd rather have to draw the way I'm doing. And Patrick's the same way. So maybe it's just a little bit of the adaptation of the new build.
Ready for the green for heat 1. Winner on pole. Everyone advances to the feature. Let's go.
Oh, Jeff got in the outside wall a little bit.
Not the start for the 513. But he moved for the 28. He falls back to third.
The other Jeff.
Yes, the other Jeff. Barker moves to second. 3 wide for fourth. Spangler looks to go 2 for 1. It doesn't work. Kemper edges out for fourth spot. But Barker all over Landis for the race lead, Dean.
Yeah, and you can see the guys are searching. This is, you know, when they ran the 305 here, the lanes are different than what we're running with this modified. So you can see everyone's trying to search to see where the lane they feel comfortable or where the speed is. Oh, look at that come down by Jeff Parker. That's nice. Look at that.
That was a nice move as he closes in just a bit. As you watch as well, the 39 at Spangler, 3 wide behind. The high side banger closing in 16.14 last lap. This time by across the 9 on a 15.94. So Spangler, the quickest car in the racetrack.
Yeah, he's looking good.
He wants to go from last to first. Jeff Barker, you've got company. Barker leads. Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can see Patrick's also trailing the brake. Watch his car hops when he's down low. That means he's tapping the brake, so I'm learning something here.
Yeah, that's a great point. And so Spangler goes to the point and tries to pull away from the Bruton Beast. Landis underneath for second on the 513, coming to 2 to go in Heat 1. Butterfield fourth, Jeff Sharp fifth, Jeff Kemper 16.
Well, and this is such a difference, Marty. You know, when you run here, where do you run normally? It's up against the wall and right there. So this is a 180 right here.
I love it personally. This is awesome. This looks like actual. Now, when the Super Dirt Car Series was outdoor in real life, were they running the low line all the time?
No, they were running about 3 grooves up to the middle because of the momentum they were getting going in the corners.
Okay.
They weren't down that low. They were just, I think, where Patrick is right there, that's kind of where they ran.
Okay. Barker defeats Landis by 0.04 of a second. Second spot at the end. Let's move to Heat 2. Corey Buno in the 034 on the pole position. Next to Slide Job, Isaac Salas in the 5. Row number 2, the 55 of Steven Spees, and the 9 of Brian Lawson. Rounding out the field in row 3, the 218 of Superman Kurt Schatzer, and the 5 of John Krupa.
You say hi to Megan, she's watching.
Yes.
Very good. Say hi to Buddy, he's right next to me.
Yep, I said hi to Buddy as well in the beginning, too.
See Patrick won his 410 race with Buddy on the front wing?
Oh, yeah.
Last night?
I did, because I saw the post-race recap, and he drove the car with you, me, and Isaac's faces on it, too. And has Buddy on the front wing.
Absolutely. Best way to go.
Yes, it is. The best scheme Patrick has right now.
Oh, by far.
Yes. Isaac was happy with the way Venom performed in the small block race. Kenny starting the outside front row in the big block. About to find out here. Buno gets away with a nice jump on the 5. Steven Speed's preferred line moves to 3rd. Brings Brian Lawson down to 4th spot. Schatzer and Krupa round out the field. Buno leads lap 1, but here comes Slide Job, Dean.
Yeah, but I don't know if that groove is... Isaac's going to try it, though, because Isaac's always did like to run the outside a little bit. I know we can't run the outside, but I think Isaac's going to try to get on the right
what
rear
an
quarter.
exit.
Yep, right here, yep. He's good at trying to get right on that right rear. He might do a little diamond here, though. Let's see. Yep.
Change for 3rd as Lawson moves up. Past the 55 of Steven Speeds. Last time by, better car was Buno by a 10th. There goes Salas again. That's a lower corner, a better corner for the 5, in my opinion, Dean.
Yeah, and I'm actually watching Spees to see if that outside starts coming in, because he's giving it a whirl out there. I mean, it's not for the win, but you want to see if a groove starts coming in, and it looks like it's starting to.
But you can see as well the entry of turn 3 is starting to get slick, and same with the entry to turn 1. And that high side did work for Stephen well. Quickest car on the racetrack that last time by to 16.02. Maybe Salas knows that he may have gotten the memo a little bit early.
He might have. I think somebody, probably Lawson's told him.
15.95 for Speeds that last lap. Salas up on the cushion. He's got 1 lap to try and defeat Corey Buno. And it's going to come down to different lines on who wins this heat race. And Salas with an incredible drive off. They are door panel to door panel down the back. Can Buno try and slide up? He looks for an opportunity. The checkered flag. Buno wins the heat.
Good heat. Well, I learned something, Marty, so I got to go to work.
Absolutely. Dean, go have fun, all right?
Thank you, man.
So now we move on to heat race number 3. We actually had John Krupa crash before the checkered flag. Well, now we move on to heat race number 3. And here's how the field lines off. Cody Graham and Mark Gilbert make up row number 1. Randy Shreve, Joe Masso, row 2. Dean Reynolds and Zach Chapman, row 3. Here we go. Good jump from the 2 of Cody Graham. Now we'll see if anyone decides to utilize the high side to their advantage. Chapman and Gilbert both go up. They both went up there. As Cody Graham leads lap 1. Gilbert wants to run on him. And he may have something. Side by side into turn number 3 and 4. Man, what a run! Up to the doorstep with a 16:07 last lap by the 17. Can Gilbert take it to the point into turn 3? He can. Look how close he is next to that wall. So he nearly loses control of it. Now watch the 56 of Shreve try to close in. He's the quickest car on the track at a 15:92. Up on the wall though. Oh, and he bikes it on 2 wheels. And that puts him down to 5th. Joe Masso was crashing the 63 a couple moments ago, but we stay under the green flag. 2 to go in this heat. Mark Gilbert with a half-second advantage on the 2 of Cody Graham. See that cushion that's starting to be developed here. 1 to go in this heat. Doesn't look like Graham will have anything for Gilbert through 3 and 4. The Venom Racing 17 takes heat 3. Graham 2nd. 3rd is Chapman. 4th Reynolds. 5th will be Shreves, and 6th Joe Masso. And so, time for the warm-up, and we will step aside. Feature coming up next on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We'll keep it with you here as we watch your favorite drivers. All right, so we're set to go for feature time with the big blocks here at Eldora. Here's the starting lineup. On the front row is the high side banger, Patrick Spangler and Corey Boudinot, the 35 of the 034, battling for the dirt crown. Row number 2, Mark Gilbert in the 017, and the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513, Gilbert in contention. Row number 3 is the 5 of Isaac Salas and the 2 of Cody Graham. Row 4, the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, and the 55 of the Detective, Steven Spees. Rounding out the top 10, the 72 of Zach Chapman and the 93 of Jason Butterfield. Butterfield also in contention. Row number 6, the 9 of Brian Lawson and the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Row 7, the 28 of Jeff Sharp and the 218 of Superman Kurt Schatzer. Row number 8, the 56 of Randy Shreves, the 181 of Jeff Kemper. Rounding out the field this evening, Joe Masso in the 63 and the 5 of John Krupa. Lights are off, 1 to go until we take the green flag. Well, we've got a good one coming up here at the Eldora Speedway. Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done? There's a favorite out there. Pick it ASAP. Mighty Modifieds, ready to roll here. The Beast of the Northeast, race 2. The final race, the dirt race. We're green. Spangler with the lead entering turn number 3. Boudinot follows him up on the top. Can he get the drive off on corner exit? Yes, he can. However, though, it's Spangler that leads lap number 1. Salas and Landis both on the bottom trying to find their way up to the top, but Salas slideways into that gives Gilbert the 3 spot, maybe even Graham the 4th spot. It's 3 wide in turn 3. Graham makes contact with Gilbert. Graham sideways! That's going to end ugly. Lawson. Graham is on his lid. No caution, and there's the caution now. So Graham is in the pits. And we'll see what happened to him. Slight contact with Gilbert, just got him sideways into Spees. Up and over, Lawson collected. Lost the entire front end of that race car. Let's run on board with Cody. And let's go Brian Lawson. Didn't see that coming, that's for sure. Doubled up field, so we're ready to take the green flag. So it's Patrick Spangler and Corey Boudinot on row number 1. Row 2, Isaac Salas and Mark Gilbert. Row 3, Jeff Barker, Terry Landis. Row 4, Zach Chapman, Steven Spees. Row 5, Jason Butterfield and Dean Reynolds. Will watch this restart from the aerial camera. As Spangler holds serve, field works their way off of turn number 2. Double wide amongst the front two, 3 wide for the 4th position. Salas with the advantage. He gets second at the line over Corey Boudinot. And the low line working handy for slide job is the question. Both crews working really well. There's the slide job from Salas. Boudinot counters back. It was a late counter from Boudinot, but he takes second spot across the start finish line. He slide job Salas back. It's slide job City at the Big E. Salas for the run entering turn number 3. Salas decides to hold it up on the baby bottom, but can he get second to the stripe? He can. Boudinot counters it back and slides back. Man, what a race this is for the runner-up spot. But it just helps out Spangler pull away by a second. Gilbert stuck in the 4th position. He's hoping to slide Boudinot up the racetrack. Just have to wait and see what happens. Good race for 5th year 2. Zach Chapman, Terry Landis, and Steven Spees. And Steven Spees is pretty good at Eldora in the past. Right on board with the 55. Jeff Sharp in trouble. Flipping in turns 1 and 2, and we do not go under caution. He pulls it off pit side. We stay green. He was running the back. He was just riding the wall. Wow, how that's not a caution, I don't even know. But what a save. Back up to the front of the field. It's still a madhouse for second between Salas and Boudinot. And both crews are slick. Low line, I would guess, still has some moisture in it. Last time by, though, Salas was better by a couple hundredths. Boudinot looks like he's got the much better lap, and he clears Salas. That was a better lap by 2 tenths. Everyone's staying single file up on the top for its slick. Salas scrapes the wall. He did not have any yaw entering the corner. Here comes the detective. Does he slide job Chapman? That's his teammate. He does. And Spees moves into the 5th position. He knows he's in a championship battle, and Spangler's ahead of him by 4 spots. But remember, it's the 4 best results that count. And Shreves threw a slider from hell on Chapman to move up into 6th. Dino starts to close it as well in 8th. Randy Shreves, though, is your biggest mover. He started in 15th. He's up to 6th. Cross flags up, 15 up and 15 down. Spangler with a 1.8 second advantage on Corey Boudinot. He's just about a straight way away from John Krupa, which is lap traffic. Here's Dean and Zach for 7th. Chapman's car is fading pretty good. Starting 9th, made his way up to about 6th or 7th. He's lost a lot of time. We go back to the runner-up spot. Look at that. Salas all over the rear bumper. The slide job, though, the slide job. He does. Boudinot saw it coming. Counters it back. It's Boudinot with 2nd at the line. Slide job once again. Man, this is some good stuff. 10 to go next time they cross the start-finish line. Great slider from Boudinot, but not good enough. Salas and Boudinot still door-to-door into turn 3. Great slider from Salas. Can he lead the line? I think he did. He gives Boudinot the spot, just hopes for a yellow to come out. Just hangs on right up on the cushion. 9 to go at Eldora. They're both still losing some time to Patrick Spangler. They'll need a yellow as they put a lap on the 5, John Krupa. Next drivers will be Joe Masso in the 63. And all this, oh, look out, Krupa slowed up. by the 34 of Boudinot. And Salas with just enough room up on the top. Krupa off the racetrack, and he spins it, caution waves. Oh, and he collects Dino in the process too. Krupa's car was already, it was in trouble. And you see Dean, and I don't know if that means he's trying to get the car going out of that, or he's just not happy one bit. He was just trying to let the leaders go here. And I don't know what that was all about. I don't know what the world that was, where the car just went to the right and he spun it out. Very, very strange. Watch the wheel here. The car, he just lost it or something. And then Dean, I think, was already coming on the outside. The yellow's out here. And Dean could have let off just a bit as well at the same time and moved to the bottom. And at the same time as he's trying to get his car back forward, just runs into Krupa. So Krupa uses a quick repair. A tough break for Dean as well, right inside the top 10. That yellow, though, not what Spangler wanted to see, but it is a single file restart. Spangler, Boudinot, Salas, Gilbert, and Spies, that's the top 5. There goes Corey. Watch the bottom to try and set a slide job up. Remember, it takes about a lap to get everything up to place, but Salas with a run up on the cushion. Oh, Salas took himself out. I collect Spies. Here we go, a junkyard in turn 3. Oh my goodness. Can you believe what just happened? Drove it in way too deep. Caught the wall. Around he went. Wow. Unbelievable. Right on board with the 5. On his lid, the Billy the Kid motor exposed. There's Brian Lawson. And he's stuck up in the air. Luckily, he was able to get back down on all 4s. This is Terry. One more here for you, Cody Graham. Decided to drive underneath Lawson to keep the car going. But back to the green with 6 to go. Gilbert 3rd, Speeds 4th, and Shreves 5th. Everyone running up on the outside line. 5 to go for Patrick Spangler. Pretty much a win will, I would guess, say, give him the championship. We'll wait for the official results to come on in. Best race on tracks in turn 3. Shreves against Zach Chapman, Jeff Kemper Company. Zach sideways, around goes Scooby. Oh my goodness, and he's saving, he did! Holy cow, and he kept the car straight, but falls back to 12th. So it's Schatzer and Shreves for the 5th position. 3 to go at Eldora on the dirt side of the Triple Crown. Chapman sideways once again, but he saves it. 2 to go for Patrick Spangler. 1.1 second lead on Corey Buono. Caution is out for Zach Chapman and John Krupa, and we're going to overtime. Krupa, wow. Oh wait, I'm sorry, was that Cody Graham? That was Graham. And what in the world was going on with Krupa? It's like he had no brakes or something. Is he on board with Zach? Watch Krupa. This is going to be so strange. He's still on the gas. It's like he's having pedal issues. As Chapman, that just has to make you very frustrated. But John may need to look at his pedals. So. Alrighty, first attempt of 2 with a green-white checkered, and we're looking forward to seeing what goes down. Will Spangler take the win, the championship, or can Buono stun, spoil the party for the high side Bangler? About to find out. First attempt at overtime, we're underway. Top 3 all stay single file, 3 wide off at 2. For a moment with speed stuck in the middle. Slides up in Schatzer for the 4th spot. White flag is out. 1 to go for Patrick Spangler. Had a nice charge in the 358s, but this time he'll be in the right spot that he wants to be at the right time, but he's up on the wall. Buono with one last chance off the corner. The high side banger wins it out the Big E. Gilbert 3rd, Schatzer 4th, and Speeds rounds out the top 5. Schatzer the biggest mover from 14th to 4th. Top 3 coming for a photo. Where's Dean? There's Dean. So we'll wait to talk with your top 3 and pull up the official results. Spangler with the win. Buono 2nd, Gilbert 3rd, Schatzer 4th, and Speeds 5th. Barker 6th, Shreve 7th, Butterfield 8th, Kemper 9th, and Cody Graham 10th. Dean 11th, Joe Mosso 12th, Terry Landis 13th, John Krupa 14th, Zach Chapman 15th, Isaac Sala 16th, Brian Lawson 17th, and Jeff Sharp 18th. Check for the standings and if they are updated yet. And the updates are official. Patrick Spangler. Oh, wait. We've got 5 that just needs to be dropped here. And it is official. Patrick Spangler is the Dirt Series side, is the Dirt Crown champion. On the dirt side, he is the Triple Crown champion. That's going to help him out towards the Triple Crown after finishing 2nd in High Limit. But Buono also 2nd. He's still there for that Triple Crown, and we've got 1 race left to go. So All right, I think we are set to go to begin the proceedings with the top 3. So with that being said, let's begin with our third place finisher in Mark Gilbert. Mark, a nice run for you in that one. Did you feel like you had anything for the front runners at the end or not really?
Not so much in this one, Marty. We're glad to hold on to third there. That accident got kind of tore up. Steering wheel was kind of crooked. I was happy to just be on the podium after that one.
Forgot you had damage after the big one broke out. How much were you hanging on to that thing?
Quite a bit. It was very thin up there at the top, so you kind of just had to roll it in, and it wasn't nothing to lean on, so you just had to feather it through there and hope you made it because the bottom wasn't working.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Venom Racing, everybody over there. Patrick Spangler, that's a great win he had there. He pretty much led the whole thing. He had a hot rod. RCP Cockpits for this rig I'm in, and W Energy for the focus and energy to get me through these races.
All right, man, I'll let you go. Great job.
All right, Marty.
Mark Gilbert, our third place finisher. Our second place runner-up, Corey Buno. Corey, what more did you need for Patrick there at the end?
I needed him to burn his tires off a little bit more and maybe another lap or so.
How much fun was that race between you and Isaac as a whole tonight?
That was pretty fun. Me and Isaac, we ran that pretty clean. I know I tagged him in the 358s, but I mean, I know he said it was his fault, and it was just hard racing in the 358s when I tagged him, so I apologize on that one. But and that was the redemption there for Isaac running nice and clean with me throwing sliders. It's kind of like a White Castle out there with all the slide jobs going on, right?
Good point. Good point. Yeah, it's unfortunate to see him wreck out, but you finished second. I gotta check your asphalt standings coming on in here.
Thank you.
Looking at it, yeah, you're 17th, 19th the asphalt standings, and Patrick is 31st. So, but I guess I'll ask you this. With one race left at Daytona, do you feel like you may have what it takes to take home the entire Triple Crown, the overall champ?
Depend. I mean, I know I have Spees in front of me on the asphalt. Mark Gilbert is shortly above me as well, so I don't know. It depends on. It don't look like Spees or Gilbert ran the high limit, so I don't know. I might if I run any good.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Definitely Fusion Setup Shop, Random Designs Paint Services, Fonseca Miller Racing, Adapt Sim Sports, you up here. Shout out to Joe White at OSR Network. And again, I got to thank Roger Craig for letting me come out here and play this week. And this is all for a good cause as well, the charity thing that's going on. You know, it's a fun week. Nobody's taking this seriously. It's just for fun.
Absolutely. All right, man. We'll let you go. Great job tonight in the dirt. We'll see you in just a bit.
Yeah, thank you.
So Corey Buno, our second place finisher. Let's go to Victory Lane. How about it? And talk with your winner and the dirt side champ of the Triple Crown, Patrick Spangler. Patrick, what a car, and this was much needed redemption after what happened to the 358 race.
Yeah, I just want to put an apology out there too to Chapman. I know I got into him in the Cars series, and then we hooked up in the heat race there. So I don't mean to crash anybody on purpose. That was all just accident racing deal. That's on me. But yeah, the car was on rails. Since the update, it seems like you can run these big blocks like a sprint car from last season, and sprint cars are a lot more difficult. But this one was on rails on the top side here.
Were you a little bit surprised that early on, like in like the qualifying the heat races, that the bottom was the place to go?
Yeah, because I ran the middle for qualifying, and I was a half second slower than the leaders, and then I came out, started sixth in the heat race, and I was like, I wonder where the Desert Demon would have taken that qualifying because he set quick time, and then I was like, let me just try as close as I can to the wall. That's how the midget race was on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it was just who could get lower, and I just was trying to get as low as I could and get that run. I was definitely surprised, though.
2 to go. What were your thoughts on when the caution flag flew?
I've been passed so many times on this, usually by Steven Goldner sliding me. So I was really hoping it wouldn't happen because I knew the top was going away, and I wasn't sure if my tires were going away because I was definitely having to feather the pedal more at the end. But hey, we'll hold on to it. Got a good start on the last one.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Shout out for you for the awesome broadcast, Roger for running the league and running this charity event this week. Train was racing, Dad, Uncle back home watching. My wife let me race all these nights during the week, putting the girls to bed. So yeah, I want to do all that. I want to be able to do this without all of them.
Great job, man. Congratulations on the win, and hopefully we'll see you in just a bit at Daytona.
I don't know about that, but yeah, see you Monday.
All right, you as well. See you Monday, guaranteed. So, Patrick Spangler, the winner. We will step aside when we come back. We're racing at the World Center of Racing. Stay with us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Race fans, a shower of big block power. Let's ride. Race fans, a shower of big block power. Let's ride.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Olsen, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Apologies for the longer delay than normal. As you see, we are getting set to go for a fun one. Daytona International Speedway, the World Center of Racing. We're about to end right on to the Week 13 Triple Crown in honor of the Steve King Foundation. We've got a good one at the World Center of Racing coming up. 50 laps here at Daytona. The fuel window is set to just about 50%, and you'll see 2 pit stops at this race under the lights. We got Brandon Ishkandian joining me now inside the booth. Brandon, you're with us here not because you're commentating with me, but I understand you have an announcement to make.
Yeah, man. I've been working hard behind the scenes with Roger and John with this, and with a couple of my team that I run. For those that have in the past, I'm sponsored by Team Watson Racing Setups, and Team Watson Racing Setups has decided to sponsor the Next Gen Series for Coast to Coast this season, and so I'm happy to have them on board. Their next gen, their NASCAR platform is phenomenal setup wise, and they were like, yeah, we wouldn't mind sponsoring that, get a different audience around. So they decided to jump on board this season and sponsor the league and for this session and go from there, man. And like I said, they got setups from everything from C class to A class, and they're all fast. They're all not watered down. Everything's just right with them. One of the best builders on the sim, Kenny Capala and Kenny Brady. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of those two, but they're both fast cars, man.
The Cup Series is a brand new series we are doing for Coast to Coast this summer, part of the trail. Obviously, we've been doing the trucks and the Xfinity series, and you're big when it comes to asphalt. I think you do asphalt only. Correct me if I'm wrong, but now the series branches out to Cup. How important is that?
I think as far as the league goes as a whole, branching out, bringing in a different genre. It's funny because it's a certain niche that runs the next gen cars. You either love them or you hate them. There is no in between. So the goal here is to spread it out, make it more known, make Coast to Coast not just a dirt league but an asphalt league as well. That's the game plan, man. To further advance and further spread the members out, man, and get everybody over here. Like I've said from the beginning since I joined this league, it's probably one of the better leagues that I've been a part of, as far as what they have to offer. So I love seeing it. I love seeing that we've actually been able to branch out and get this asphalt side kicking off.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to add on that, or not really?
The only other thing I want to add on is I appreciate you, of course, and also for those listening, Watson, WATSON, Watson 39, 15% off all setups.
All right.
Appreciate you, Marty.
Sounds good. Brandon, have fun tonight. Wishing you and your Watson team the best of luck.
Appreciate you, boss.
Alrighty, qualifying is set to get going here at Daytona. And first guy we will watch is the driver of the number 8. That, of course, is Jeremy Tate. He's got that Kyle Busch paint scheme on, still celebrating the win from last Sunday. 5 minutes on the clock here. Each drivers will get 2 laps. And what you're going to see here in qualifying is that they'll do their first lap up on the high side, and then their second lap all the way on the bottom just so they can gain horsepower. Just get horsepower and try and go the shortest way around the racetrack, as much speed as they can gather. You see Tate deciding to make the risk early and shift back down to the bottom. Let's see if you're on board for a lap with him. Doing about 180, 185 miles an hour now. When you watch the Xfinity guys, they're normally doing it just a little bit faster, about 190 or so. Remember, the cars here have 670 horsepower, while Xfinity has 700 just about. Tate puts his first lap up on the board. Let's see where he clocks in. 49.55 is lap 1. Doyle Lawrence goes second. Peter Thompson to the top at a 49.52. Isaac Salas goes third. Jeffrey Kemper goes third. Joe Masso fourth. Mike Kramer fifth. All the lap 1 time starting to flow on in. Here comes the 5 of John Krupa to the line. He's 6th quickest, 49.6. Here comes John Mateo in car number 81, ready to cross the start finish line. Let's see where he goes. He's 15th. All right, Peter Thompson currently the pole sitter. That's all bound to change. Let's see what happens here. He's slower on lap number 2. Kemper with a possible chance to improve his lap time. He's off the pace. John Krupa maybe with one more chance at it. Bob Light goes to 5th on lap 2, 49.58. Last night the Xfinity winner. I was the first loser in that, unfortunately. Joe Canellis 4th quick, 49.57. Jacob Butcher 16th quick as he's ready to come across the start finish line. Better lap to 15th. Here comes Brandon Ishkanian to the line. Decides to use the apron to his advantage. And Ishkanian goes to 12th, 49.61. Cody Graham to 14th, 49.62. Under 90 seconds left in qualifying. Mark Gilbert to 29th on the track. Here comes Roland Olson. Hollywood is 30th. After him, we'll watch Dwayne Simons in the 025. Olson 27th. Let's go to Simons. As low as he can go. Up the track just a tiny bit. 31 drivers with us here tonight. Much better lap for Simons. He moves to 15th, 49.62. And that will do it for qualifying. Peter Thompson starts on pole. And his time a 49.53. It's 1-2-3 Chevrolet. And so with that being said, we are ready to go racing here at Daytona International Speedway. They call it the World Center of Racing for a reason. Let's meet the field. Here is the starting lineup. On the pole position is the 04 of Peter Thompson and the 8 of Jeremy Tate. Row number 2, the 181 of Jeff Kemper and the 1 of Joe Canellis. Row 3, the 63 of Joe Masso and the 77 of Bob Light. Row 4 is the 70 of Mike Cranmer and the 034 of Corey Boudinot. Round out the top 10 is the 13 of Colin Johnston and the 5 of John Krupa. Row 6, the 5 of Slide Job, Isaac Salas, the 19 of Brandon Ishkanian. Row 7 on the inside, Doyle Lawrence in the 3 and Cody Graham in the 2. Row 8, Dwayne Simons in the 025 and Randy Shreves in the 56. Row 9, the 55 of the Detective Steven Spees and the 85 of Jake Butcher. Row number 10 is the number 12 of John Mateo and the 029 of Buddy Boggs III. Row 11 is the 9 of Brian Lawson and the 161 of the Desert Demon in Terry Landis. Row 12 is the 058 of Jim Bowie and the 37 of Tim Chapman. Rounding out the grid tonight, Gary Sigelkow in the 25, next to the Bassman Roger Craig. That is row number 13. The Mayor Steve Bixler in the 75 and Roland Hollywood Olson make up row 14. Row 15 is JR John Rayner in the 302 and Mark Gilbert in the 17. Rounding out the grid this evening, the 72 of Zach Chapman Scooby-Doo. Field is set to roll off. Let's break down this race as we pop up the iRacing user interface. 50 laps is the distance this evening. Drivers have 50% fuel window. That means you should expect the fuel window to open up just at around 15 to 18 laps or so. 2 pit stops to expect the drivers at least. They may have to do 3 pit stops depending on how much fuel they use in the race. Pit road speed 60 miles an hour. Pace car speed is at 70. Of course, it's the next gen cars. First time ever we've seen the next gens in the Coast to Coast Racing League on a broadcast. So as the field rolls off, let's get your picks on who you guys think is going to win in the chat. Jeff Barker says good racing all. Corey Schartzer says, wow, 3 guys at 49.57, 2 at 49.55, LOL. Down the Daytona Super Stretch where it could become Calamity Alley later tonight. Final race of the Triple Crown will get the overall champion later tonight or later this week. You can check it out on Facebook at Coast to Coast Racing League. As the field is set to go off of turn number 4. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? From coast to coast, Peter Thompson, Jeremy Tate, set to bring us to green. The final race of week 13 on the World Center of Racing. It's showtime in Daytona. Thompson, a good jump down the back straight. With help from the 181 to 63, they were single file on the low line, but could turn double file up top with the 63 of Joe Masso. Expect the high side to be the place to be on the straightaways, and the low side the place to be in the corners. However, though, what we've seen from the next-gen cars in the past is that if the drivers get single file, the high side could possibly be the place to be. As you watch the race, as Mike Cranmer moves into the 3 spot, here comes Joe Canellis in the Lucy Olson #1 ride. But Joe Dirt can't get the draft, and again, this high side, whoa, trouble behind them. Randy Shreves is around, collects Krupa, and a heavy impact for Krupa. Yellow flag is out for the first time tonight. Major front end damage to the 5. Randy Shreves also collected. And we're hearing there was some damage to Mark Gilbert and Buddy Boggs. Was not a fun day yesterday, just about a moment ago to be John Krupa. As the caution flag waves on lap number 3. Give you a look at what happened, and we'll take a look from an aerial shot up above. Let's see here. Buddy Boggs had a huge head of steam and just couldn't let off into the 56 of Randy Shreves. And this is where it gets wild. No control in the grass for Krupa. Bam! Into the tires. Lost the hood. Randy Shreves also went into that tire barrier too. That's where the road course section is. But a heavy, heavy impact. Real time. Let's get another angle of it. Let's ride on board with John Krupa. Let's go from Randy Shreves. Buddy Boggs should give us something too, a good angle. He was dirt tracking through that lawn. So first caution out for a 3-car incident. Is just a little bit away from coming back to the green flag. I believe we are having some technical difficulties with our static cameras. Just take a look here, do one more thing. There we go. For some reason, we've been having a glitch on our end with the cameras, so unfortunately we will not have any of the rolling cameras that you normally see. But we are set to come back to the green with 5 laps complete. And let's reset the field here for this restart. Peter Thompson, Jeff Kemper make up row number 1. Joe Mosso and Mike Cranmer, row number 2. Row 3 is Jeremy Tate and Joe Canellis. Row 4, Bob Light and Isaac Salas. Rounding out your top 10 this evening, Cody Graham and Doyle Lawrence. Couple of drivers did decide to pit and top off on fuel. Corey Boudinot, Randy Shreves, Colin Johnston, Brandon Ishkanyan, Dwayne Simons, Tim Chapman, John Mateo, and Zach Chapman. Mark Gilbert as well, as they all had to start from, they were all in the rear anyway, so why not make a pit stop. Randy Shreves, I would assume, took fuel only and used a quick repair at the same time. John Krupa's back out onto the racetrack. He decided not to use his quick repair with a 3.5 minute stop. Either that or he did, actually, no, correction, he did use the quick repair. It's just, obviously it takes a long time to tow up. But we're ready for the restart to put 5 laps up on the board. Of course, let us know who you're rooting for in chat. There you see Barney. He's got the green in hand. And so Peter Thompson holds serve. That leaves Kemper and Cranmer wheel to wheel into turn 1. But Masso gives the 181 a nice push. See if anyone decides to make a specific move, but the high side lined up a lot better. That moves the 63 of Masso into P2. Thompson tried to move up top, and he has lost the lead for the first time today. Just about an 18 car pack here at the moment. Not sure what happened with 19th on back if they all got stacked up, or either have to sign, let's just play it safe than sorry for right now. See Masso just a little bit sideways because Peter Thompson's all over that 63, and Thompson gets the 63 loose. Little risky moves early, and Joe Masso is going backwards, and he's up on the 3rd groove. Let me decide, you know what, let's just hang out in the back to be safe than sorry. Not what Masso wanted to deal with at that point. So back he goes. And now that leaves Kemper out in the front of the field. Jeremy Tate takes a peek up the stairs. And Bob Light would like to work with him. They are 2 teammates. Something I'm noticing about Peter Thompson this early is he is just all over the bumper of the driver in front. He's bump drafting very early. That is a huge risk to take. Salas now moves up to the outside. Again, like I mentioned, high side's where you want to be on the straightaways, and the corners, you want to be down low. Oh, Sigelcal with some contact to the mayor of Steve Bixler, and Bixler made a nice save. Great lap for him, though, that last time by 45.95. When you're on the tail of these packs, getting quicker lap times. And speaking of which, we got one below the WO line. Ryan Lawson, got to be careful to do that. He merges up just in time. We should talk about being in the draft as well at the same time, because we mentioned this is a 2-stop race at least. You may have to go 3. Yellow flag is out, and it's for this guy here. That is Landis, the 161. The second pack is coming. Oh, Landis out of the way just barely. So Desert Demon immediately takes it down to pit road. Let's take a look and see what happened to Terry. Just got turned off the front bumper of Steven Spees. Roger Craig also collected. So a couple of salty dogs involved in this one. Or I'm sorry, not a couple of salty dogs. Got a couple of retreads. See if we got a static shot for you on this one in real time. That's some rear end damage on the spoiler and the deck lid of Terry. It's another angle off of turn 4. From the shots that we have that give you a nice cinematic point of view. Let's go right on board here with Terry. A lot of drivers in pit road. Jeffrey Kemper, the leader, is in. Some drivers taking 4, some taking fuel only like Doyle Lawrence. A lot of various stops here. Fuel only. Some guys want to use their first of 3 sets of tires. Some interesting games taking place. From that stop there, we've got a top 16 that decided to stay out. 12 drivers have yet to make a pit stop. Peter Thompson is one of those 12 drivers out in front. Time to restart here at Daytona. Lights are off the Steve King Foundation pace car. Peter Thompson and Isaac Salas make up row number 1. Joe Canellis, Jeremy Tate, row 2. Mike Cranmer and Bob Light, row number 3. Row 4, Jake Butcher and Brian Lawson round out the top 10. Buddy Boggs and Steve Bixler. Everyone fires together here. And we're back to the green. Thompson with a nice restart. Let's see if Solace gets back to see if he can get a push on Tate. No, Solace decides to go down low. That leaves Tate and Light stuck up on the outside. As the drivers all try to form together. We're seeing a lot of the field all scattered up here as you see Butcher move up to the outside. A lot of the field is currently scattered here. I think the reason why is probably because, you know, this is a long race. Everyone has one quick repair. They want to probably save that quick repair for the end of the race, especially now we have 2 cautions so far in this one. So front 5, all single file. Butcher falls back to the back. Ishkanian leads the second group with his teammate Cullen Johnson behind him, followed by Roland Olsen, John Mateo and company. If you stay in a train, if you're in a train and you're lined up a lot better, good things will happen. You'll move your way up towards the front of the field. Here comes Mike Kramer with a run from Bob Light. See if that can pay off as you're on board the 77. Brian Lawson off to a terrific start of everyone. He's currently the biggest mover. Currently up 17 spots into the 4th position. Of course, he's pushing his teammate Isaac. He's running 3rd. Isaac started 11th in this one. It's currently Thompson followed by Canellis. Now this pack starts to form together. Ishkanian has merged in front of the second pack into one, and he is on the charge. He's put that Team Watson ride into the 9th position. Mike could shut the door possibly on Buddy Boggs, decides not to. But with the guys side by side for 5th, could lead to a 4-car breakaway possibly. You know, just with the way the next gen cars race on super speedways. When you're side by side, the train out in front can pull away really, really well. Quickest car on track last lap came from the back of the first pack, Steven Spees, who remember was involved in the last caution of the race. Doesn't look like he's got too much damage, so that's a good thing. Watch out, Boggs around and collects tape. And could collect more, and he does. Spees is also involved. Buno goes through pit road to dodge the bullet. And there you see Jacob Butcher involved, and same with John Mateo. 3rd yellow of the day, and this should bring a lot of drivers into pit, which could put everyone on a one-stop strategy the rest of the way. So you were watching it live. Let's go from an aerial shot and show you what went down. Boggs was the first one to get turned. Can we rewind that, please? They will rewind it for us, and we'll go in super slow-mo. Boggs, just some slight contact with the 70 of Mike Cranmer. See Bob Light, just a small piece of it, and everyone is just trying to scatter. Thank goodness there were 2 separate packs. You see Tate come down to the 82 of Mateo, who you saw suffer a lot of fender damage. That's the heavy impact. They're in the aftermath. A lot of drivers in. We'll break down pit stops in just a moment. Let's watch this in real time first. Now look at the second pack. Coming up to the scene of crime. Thank goodness. Big credit to Butcher as well for hanging out, for keeping it on the brakes with that second pack coming. It was a great job. Flurry of the drivers come in. Every driver that had yet to pit made their way down pit road. Joe Canellis won the race off pit road, followed by Zach Chapman, Colin Johnston, Bob Light, Peter Thompson. And so that puts Doyle Lawrence out in front in the nationwide number 3. Let's give you a chance to watch a couple of onboards here. And first guy we'll watch is Butcher in the 85. Thought he had something missed, but just caught the 82. Hollywood Olsen took a nice ride through the lawn. And luckily, he didn't go across that cone. Let's go to Steven Speeds. Here's Doyle Lawrence as he was trying to miss everything as he was approaching the scene of the accident. Oh, a nice save for Doyle, and thanks to that save, Lawrence accums the top spot. Check and see here if the lights are off this time, which they are, so we will go to the green. So let's come back to the green flag. Doyle Lawrence and Joe Masso make up row number 1. Row number 2, Cody Graham and JR, John Rayner. Row 3, Terry Landis and Gary Sigelkow. Row number 4, Joe Canellis and Mark Gilbert. And row 5, Zach Chapman and Roger Craig. Nice recovery from Terry Landis after being involved in caution number 2 on the day. As you see the field lined up, ready for the start, 19 laps go up on the board this time. So a lot of drivers pitted on lap number 17, lap 18. We'll give you the full recap in just a bit, but we are set to come back to the green flag. A lot of drivers caught sleeping on that restart, and you saw as well Rayner changed lanes before the green flag. I'm not sure if that's legal or not. I would assume it is, as long as he didn't pass on the inside before the restart. He should be good. So Rayner takes third over Masso, and everyone goes single file for right now. You see Sigelkow first one up top, but no one wants to go with him except for Masso. And Cody Graham wants to make a move on Doyle Lawrence as they're door-to-door for the lead into turn 3. And Graham with that great push from the 63. Graham out front. That definitely helped out Gary Sigelkow for being the first up on the outside. Brought a lot of drivers with him, like Mark Gilbert, the 4th car on that high side. Ooh, single cow up on the wall. This could get ugly here. Stacked up Gilbert and etc. But luckily able to keep the car straight. He runs in P9. But back up front, Lawrence has taken the lead back thanks to an incredible push from JR. Ooh, but Lawrence stacks the bottom up as Landis had to let off the throttle or else he was hooking the 302. .192 miles an hour across the line for the Desert Demon in the draft. How about the top speed at turn number 1? He's not in the draft. Doesn't want to get forced in the middle. It's 3 wide. Canellis uses it to his advantage. And Landis is in no man's land. That's what we call the sucker hole. And Gilbert's a part of that too. Could lead to mayhem perhaps. Luckily it doesn't as of right now, but you never know. There we go. Hard hit in the outside wall for Roland Olsen too. 3-car jam session in turns 3 and 4 as of right now. Somehow everyone else, we got Tim Chapman and Jim Bowie on the binders too. But mayhem did strike on lap 22. Try and pull up a replay here for you. Landis' second incident of the day, but I don't think anybody hit him. We will have to see. So Gilbert touches him, sends Landis sideways. There's the neck code. And I don't think anybody got him. How Sigelcal misses this wreck, I don't know. My goodness, Bob Light. That was cleaner than I expected. Watch the drivers up top. There were a couple of drivers that caught the wall. I don't know who that green car is. Man, I don't know who that was that side of dodged some bullets. Johnston was the one that caught the wall just barely. And let's ride on board with the Desert Demon. Man, Isaac Salas is one lucky son of a gun. Right on board with Slide Job. You'll see them in about 10 seconds. Let's go to Mark Gilbert. There's a blue car that came in hot. That car right there. I gotta see who that was. I don't know who specifically, but that could have been pretty bad. Tim Chapman approaching the scene of the accident. It's got a tiny piece of it. We also had Steve Bixler as well, who went to the apron and the grass to miss it. So a couple drivers came in on lap 23. John Rayner won the race off pit road, followed by Zach Chapman, Cody Graham, Joe Masso, Jeff Kemper. Now when we look at things here, I would expect the drivers that came in, I think their window opens with just about 10 laps to go or so. Lawrence will have to put in about 10 laps. He's just hoping for cautions to breed cautions at the moment. Canellis, Lawson, and those guys that put on lap 17, their window is just with about under 20 laps to go. But just keep in mind as well, if they have to pit under green flag here shortly, that may not be too pretty. You see other guys as well on the bottom of your screen deciding to come to pit road just to top off on fuel. Like Johnston, Ishkanian, Simons, Mateo, a lot of those asphalt guys that know how to race it. Because you never know when you need enough fuel. Doyle Lawrence, Joe Canellis make up row number 1. Brian Lawson, Isaac Salas on row 2. Terry Landis, Gary Sigelkow, row 3. Bob Light, Peter Thompson, row 4. Roger Craig, Jeremy Tate round out the top 10. A lot of Venom drivers up here for this restart. Lawson 3rd, Salas 4th, Sigelkow 6th. Then a lot of the Crate Sim Racing drivers up here. Landis 5th, Lightson 7th. Jeremy Tate near the top 10. He's right on board that Texaco Havoline, number 85. So, as we come to green with 25 laps to go, the cross flags will fly this time. I am going to shut up this lap, and you guys can enjoy the roar of the 670 horsepower V8 engines. It's time to crank it up here at Daytona. Some awesome racing happening here at the moment. Lawrence leads on Canellis and Lawson. Salas and Sigelkow try to close in. Best restart of them all, I guess you could say, could go to Bob Light in 7th. You see that single file train developing amongst the front 9 cars and behind them. It is a wad-up mess. Led by Cranmer and Boggs, 2 and 3 wide. That's just slowing them up here. They want a bigger train to try and close in on the leaders. Just not working out for them one bit. So now remember, again, the top 10 all due up for pit stops in just a bit. If you're Doyle Lawrence, you want to see a caution now. Perfect timing, as we've got a big one in turn 2. Roland Olson involved. That's Cody Graham, Mike Cranmer. Fifth caution of the day here at the World Center of Racing. We'll have to see what brought the yellow flag out. Let's see who's got the most damage here. I think it's Cody Graham. Let's see if this happened in front of him. Right there. That blue and white car of Olsen. Oh my goodness, Mike Cranmer. How he did not go upside down, I do not know. But it started with the 029 of Buddy Boggs. That was the car, I believe, that went full throttle underneath the previous yellow. And it just led to mayhem. Watch again. What a shot. Yeah, Rayner, luckily, just up in the wall. That was a near blowover. We nearly saw a blowover in a corner at Daytona. John Rayner's on board. Hang on to this one, Mike Cranmer. Cody Graham. Again, a lot of these onboard cameras, too, activate after the accident begins. Maybe we get a better idea here with Mike Kramer on this one. Nope, we won't. How about Dwayne Simons? As he showed up to the scene late. A lot of drivers coming in. And this would put them maybe a couple laps short, about 5 laps short or so. So Joe Canellis takes lead. I'm going to mute my mic here real quick. When we come back, we'll have just about 19 laps remaining here. All right, ready for this restart once again. Joe Canellis, Brian Lawson, row 1. Isaac Salas, Bob Light, row number 2. Peter Thompson, Jeremy Tate, row 3. Jake Butcher, Stephen Bixler, row 4. Joe Masso, Buddy Boggs, the third, round out the top 10, coming back to the green. 19 laps remaining at Daytona. Great jump from Canellis, but he could be. Oh, look out. 2 guys to the pit lane. Bob lights one of them. That could lead to a pit road penalty. The other one is Peter Thompson. We stay green because he's far off of the racetrack. Now we'll check on the 77 if he'll have to go down pit road or not. He's in the back of the field. So I will take that as a yes, but Canellis was swallowed up on that restart. I was about to go to that point, and it's Lawson and Salas that work together to take the lead. It's 1-2 Venom. And they're trying to pull away from 5th on back, led by Jake Butcher and then Steve Bixler, Boggs, and Mosso. Door-to-door for 7th off of turn 4. Want to give a shout out as well while we're at it before I forget to our camera person. Look at all these cameras here. That is track cams by Ishvan. A great job with these cameras as always. Caution is out. For what is the question? Well, I don't know. What the heck is the caution for anyway? I don't see anything on the racetrack. Either that or race control is just like, yeah, let's slow them up. Bob Light is getting his blacks cleared. Now we will see here if he was forced onto pit road. Watch from this camera. Peter Thompson turned Bob, and that forced him onto the pit road exit. Let me check here with race control and see what the yellow was thrown for. And we don't have a race control in chat. But now we go to the pace car. And we'll see when the lights did come on. Lights came on there. Dwayne Simons caught the wall, but I don't think that would warrant a yellow flag on a straightaway. Well, then again, with how slow he was going. Ah, yep, here we go. This had to bring the yellow flag out. Watch this. Tim Chapman got him. But a nice 360. Now at this rate, everybody is coming down pit road without question. You've got to come in. 17 laps to go. It's going to be interesting to see if drivers fall flat on fuel, but you're going to be clutching, that's for sure. And all you're just praying about here at the moment is that this race does not go to overtime. Race off pit road 2 was won by Joe Mosso, followed by John Rayner, Doyle Lawrence, Roger Craig. Actually, Mosso decided to stay out, which is very risky. Race off pit road was won by Jake Butcher, correction, Joe Canellis, Brian Lawson, Jeremy Tate, Steve Bixler. And so when you look at the pit strategy here, and we're we're going to take a look at the top 20. Longest anyone has gone, 17 laps to actually 19 laps if you do caution laps. 20 by Terry Landis, so if we keep having all these cautions, you can go the distance. Good idea to see what that is like. So 6 yellows in this one at Daytona. We'll double them back up. All right, let's pull up the drone here. One of our 2 drones we've got on the racetrack. Joe Masso, John Rayner make up row 1. Doyle Lawrence and Roger Craig, row 2. Cody Graham, John Mateo, row number 3. Brandon Ishkanian, Corey Boudinot, row 4. Zach Chapman, Terry Landis round out the top 10. We know if this race has 1 overtime. We know that Jacob Butcher on back to Roland Olson from 14th to 25th. Everyone's good to go on fuel. That is amongst the lead lap cars. Drivers ahead do not want the race to go into overtime or there's a lot of concern that they could make it on fuel. They're just hoping for cautions. They don't want a green flag run to go to the end. Masso to bring us to green with 14 circuits left at the World Center of Racing. Rayner tries to tuck in behind Lawrence, which he does. Leaves Graham and Craig side by side for 4th. And now Rayner tries to get a pole from Craig, the Salty Dog teammates. That's a risky move by the 302 because that could help out Lawrence move up to the outside. Don't know if this will work out well for Rayner and Craig, especially into turns 3 and 4. Let me tell you something, Ishkanian with a heck of a jump. He moves into the top 5. This is the highest we've seen Ish today. And the biggest pack that we have seen in this race since we've taken the green flag. $13 laps to go. A lot of drivers stacked up. Masso up top. Loses the draft. Lawrence to the lead. Where is Ishkanian going? Everyone wants that draft off the 63. Everyone stacks up further back. This could lead to trouble. But somehow everyone makes it through. Ishkanian moves to 3rd. Zach Chapman 4th. Jeff Kemper rounds out the top 5. Masso stuck up on the outside. Can he get the help from John Rayner? I don't know if it's going to work really well for the News at 63. Tim Chapman, Jeremy Tate. Almost went to pit road. Tim Chapman actually went through the grass. He keeps it straight. We stay green. Everyone trying to get the draft and let off the gas to try and keep going when it comes to fuel conservation. This is on board John Rayner. Landis and Salas off the track. We got trouble. Canella also involved, and we go back to yellow. Oh, and another driver collected as well. That's Simons. There you see Landis. Heaviest hit he has taken today. And Isaac Salas is also involved in the 5. He's through the grass. That's his first crash of the day, so he's got a quick repair that he can use. take a look at what happened between the two. This was in the back of the lead pack. Ooh, Landis got hooked from Solace. Ooh, this is going to be bad for Terry. Oh. Right when that grass was there, I felt that. Ugh. And then no brakes up the track. Sigel just barely misses it. Here's another angle. And one more shot before we go to onboards. Man. That was brutal, and thank goodness for a safer barrier there. I bet you that even destroyed the engine. Yeah, Landis can't get that 161 to fire up. He had to use a quick repair. Right on board with Terry. Couldn't even slow down one bit because of all the grass. It's like you're on ice skates. Let's go with Isaac Salas. He had a huge run and was stuck up in the middle. Nothing he could do, and I don't even think he actually hit the wall. Great car control by Salsa. Now, a couple other drivers into the pits would tend to go. If you pit, you're good on fuel the rest of the way. I want to look at Tim Chapman as well, because apparently he was involved in an accident. Give me a real-time shot of Timmy. Let's take a look at this. He was caught up in something. That doesn't give us the best angle. This should give us a good idea what happened. Jeremy Tate. Wow. He never even touched the wall. Just missed it by that much. So with all the yellows continuing to brew up here, we know there are a couple of drivers that are good to go on fuel, and that is from 15th on back. Tim Chapman pitted on lap 40. We know he's good to go. If this race goes to a second and final overtime, could be something in question. You see Doyle Lawrence and Joe Masso saving fuel. You can hear Masso with the clutch pulled in. Remember, that was an issue at Charlotte last night with the Xfinity Series. Even I had the issue. I took enough fuel just barely to make it to the end. Gas is in, and then back down to the clutch. Trying to see if anybody else of the guys on lap 30 are saving fuel. They're not really at the moment. So 8 to go when we come back to the green flag. Will everybody make it back in 8 laps? I personally don't think they will. I have a really good feeling that we're going to overtime. Let's know what you guys think in the chat. Daryl Lawrence and Brandon Ishkanian, row number 1. Joe Masso, Cody Graham, the second row. Jeff Kemper and Zach Chapman, row 3. John Rayner and Colin Johnston, row 4. Round out the top 10, Roger Craig and Jacob Butcher. Buckle up, folks. It could get crazy. Eddie Masso watching. I just saw the chat 8 minutes ago, Eddie. Apologies for that. Says, let the moose loose. Could be moose time. At the end of the night, we'll see. The green is in hand. And there are 8 laps to settle this one in the final asphalt race. And a good jump from Doyle. Cody Graham does not have a push down low. This could help out Ishkanian to move to second. And Ishkanian's looking for the lead. Front 3 rows, side by side into turn 3. Can Ishkanian bring the 19 back to the point? Lawrence, though, has a run with Cody Graham. Oh, one car sideways off for 4. That was Buddy Boggs. If not, nope, that was Tim Chapman again. Keep it off the track, Tim. Nice save. We stay green with 7 circuits left. Front 3 rows have their line working until now. That green car up on the outside is Cullen Johnston in the 13 in 4th position. And more drivers start to shift up to the top. On board the 13. Here comes the low group led by Lawrence and Graham and Kemper. No one to sign the side draft yet, but it may be time to do so with 6 to go. From Cody. Him and Doyle each shared row 7 to begin this race. Can they go to victory lane? More drivers shift up top. This time it's Kemper and Chapman, the Gambler teammates. Up in the front 2. But now they shift back down low, 3rd and 4th. So Jeff has a teammate in Zach that could push him to the lead if they decide to make a move. And the front 4 have her trying to break away. Chapman moves up top, but Kemper can't move up there because Zach had a huge slingshot. And this could help out the top 2. So Chapman decides to ditch Kemper, but can Kemper leave Zach Chapman a lane? To pull off the switcheroo is the question. He cannot. He stays side by side and nearly touch. But Chapman's got a run on Cody Graham for second. Brian Lawson's off the track. Oh, Lawson's around with Tate. Yellow is out. Boggs is also loose. He's lost the right front. And this could send us into overtime. Oh, boy, oh, Berto. We're hearing Roger Craig, the Bassman, was also involved in the accident. I don't see anything on the left side, but maybe on the right. Let's see how that yellow was caused. I think Lawson and Craig hooked down the super stretch. So that's what sent the Bassman sideways. Then Lawson with no grip on the tires came up and into Jeremy Tate. Boggs with the right sides off the ground. That was a little bit wild. Let's watch from a static shot. Glad it was at least a 3-car accident, not the big one in turn 4. So, on board with Brian. See, Craig just didn't really give him enough of a lane. And then it was just on from there. Let's give you Jeremy Tate. He gave Lawson the lane to move up, and then he just didn't expect that. Again, it's just no grip one bit. Alrighty, so let's just confirm here. It may go into a one-lap shootout potentially. Let's just wait to see what happens here. The lights are still on. And you see Doyle Lawrence on the apron. And he's also concerned about fuel. Again, like I said, this could be a one-lap shootout to determine the victor. And you can see Lawrence in 5th gear, off the clutch, back on the clutch. Trying to do whatever he can do to save fuel. So we will wait to see what it says on the iRacing user interface. If we go green to the white flag, if we do a green checkered, or if we do a green-white checkered. But a lot of drivers have a shot to win it. We'll check this time at the start-finish line. If I were to guess, I would guess it's a green-white checkered. And it is called a green-white checkered. First of 2 attempts at overtime. Again, you've known the rules by now. If we get a yellow before the white, we'll try it one more time. First of 2 attempts. If we take the white flag, we will end under the checkered. There will be no more yellows in this one. On board with the 3 of Doyle Lawrence as he looks to win. And remember, Lawrence came in, had a great run last night. Cody Graham's in 4th. He wants to win the championship, but Bob Lights had a heck of a week in the 77, despite running in 15th position. Colin Johnston could take it home too. We'll just have to see. Lawrence and Chapman, row 1. Ishkanian and Graham, row 2. Masso and Kemper, row 3. Johnston and Butcher, row number 4. Boudinot and Rayner round out the top 5. Again, a green-white checkered to determine who wins tonight at Daytona. Who's it going to be? How's it going to be done? About to find out what happens as they come off of turn number 4. Lawrence, the control car for this restart. Our first attempt at overtime. 21 drivers have a chance to win it all. And Zach Chapman caught sleeping on the restart. He may try to tuck in line behind the 3. Could Lawrence be too far ahead? We'll just have to see what happens as drivers jockey their way up and down lanes. But Zach's got a heck of a push. Behind him is the 19 of Ishkanian. And here comes Scooby-Doo looking for the lead. 3 wide with Johnson in the middle for 5th. And Zach Chapman takes the lead at Daytona with 2 to go. Where does Ishkanian go? He's got to run on the outside. Slams the door, Lorenz. Ishkanian goes around. He's in the grass. Up the racetrack. We stay green for now. 360, Ishkanian saves it. Off at turn 4, it's 3 wide for the lead. Chapman, no help. Here comes Lorenz and Masso. White flag is out. 1 to go at Daytona. Joe Masso with a huge push from Colin Johnson in the number 72. Or in the number 13, rather, into turn 1. Johnston to the lead. Jake Butcher gives him the push. But Masso could get a run off and turn to the high side. Trouble further back. The 82's around. They're running them up further back. 5 cars, a chance to win it all at Daytona. Butcher loses it. Johnston doesn't have the draft. Masso's got the push from Zach Chapman. Lorenz tries to get back in the draft, but it's Joe Masso who leads the field off turn 4. Johnston, one final chance coming to the line. Johnston's got the lead at the line. Oh my goodness me! Let the moose loose. Joe Masso wins it at Daytona by thousandths of a second. Oh my goodness me! Let's check the iRacing scoring by 2 1,000ths of a second that Joe Masso pulls off the upset on Colin Johnston. What a way to end this one tonight. So glad it only took 1 overtime, and the Cato, New York native takes home the checkers. Let's go back and watch that finish one more time in slow-mo. So that is in turn 4. Let's put this to real time here. So it's Johnson here. Masso with a perfect side draft. Held his line beautifully right there. 2,000ths of a second. What a way to end week 13. We'll check who the champ is on the asphalt side of things. Stand by for that. That is a Kodak moment. Let's even give you another good angle of this one. Let me see if we can go frame by frame here. Right there. Wow. You can hardly tell it from the stop motion camera. What a race, though. Kodak moment for Joe Masso as he lights them up. And again, we'll get you the top 3 in just a moment. I would like to do as well, if we have it too, let's take a chance and see if we can look at the final incidents of the night. Go to Bob Light, Brian Lawson first off, and rewind how that accident began. Because we saw the 82 get sideways first. If we can find him here on the screen. John Mateo. So he got hooked from Solace from behind. It just led to a stack up and probably the biggest wreck of the night right here. I think we had something else happen with Rayner and Sigelcal. That was in turn 4. Yes, it was. So those were the wrecks that happened at the end of the race. And let's talk with your top 3. Our third place finisher, Zach Chapman. Zach, those final laps, man, from your perspective, walk us through them.
Yeah,
I didn't realize until, kind of looking back in the replay there, that I think Brandon, of course anything goes on the last lap. I don't think he was my friend on the last lap, but I think he wanted to stay up high, and I thought when he gave me that run, that he would want to tuck down with me and block the bottom, but it seemed like he tried to stay high, and he lifted a little bit, and when he lifted, he tried to come down, and there was just a car there, so I lost my helper. So I was just kind of there at the end, just trying to ram my way back up there, and I got myself up to third. And I don't know Joe, but I don't think he wins that race without my push there, so I'll take a little bit of credit for that one.
Following up on that, were you just relying in turns 3 and 4, just trying to push Joe to the end?
Yeah, that was the commitment, because I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't realize we were 3 wide there for third, that Doyle there had put it in the middle. So when he put it in the middle, I couldn't get fully behind him and get enough to get a run. So I was kind of just stuck where I was and had to fight for third there. But I'll take 31st to third any night of the week.
Yeah, you're the hard charger, 2 up 28 spots, man. Who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
First and foremost, my dad. I appreciate him sponsoring the league and putting money into this. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and I know he does too. You, Marty, I can't wait to go back and listen to this. You do an amazing job. You call it how you see it. We love you, and we love watching it. All my sponsors, Cool Ray, Young Gun Creations, all my teammates at Gambler, and last but not least, my wife. She deals with me doing this a couple nights a week.
Appreciate the time, man. Great job tonight.
Thanks, Marty.
Let's go to our second place finisher here in Colin Johnston. Colin, that's got to be a tough pill to swallow. 0.02 of a second short. Did you think you had it when you came across the start-finish line initially?
No, I could kind of see his the front of his cockpit just slightly ahead of mine at the finish line, but I was still kind of hoping that the ticker was going to say I was ahead or something. But yeah, it was a tough one.
From the final laps as well, man. Walk us through what you were trying to do there at the end, and how you were going to try and get that win.
So honestly, I was looking at the standings for the asphalt, and I knew I needed like 110 points or something like that to jump ahead of Bob Light. So I was trying to figure out any way I could to go from 8th to 1st, and I knew Masso was saving. So as soon as he went high in the turn 1, I just kind of threw it 3 wide and hoped for the best the rest of the way.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to, though, on this run?
I want to give a shout out to my wife for always putting up with us, pretty much 5-6 nights a week. And then Team Watson Racing Setups, which is going to be sponsoring this Cup Series throughout the next 12 weeks as well. And then you for putting on the broadcast, and Roger and everyone for hosting such a great league.
Alrighty, man. We'll let you go. Great job tonight, and great job all week.
Yeah, thank you.
Colin Johnston, our second place finisher. Let's go to the Moose, Joe Masso. How does this one feel, man?
This feels amazing, honestly. That was by far my favorite race of this whole event, and I'm still shaking right now, I'm not going to lie.
Did you feel like when you came across the start-finish line, did you feel like that you had it won?
No, I thought he got me, so I just kept on looking at my relative, and the one didn't change, and I started screaming. I was like, oh my God, I got it. I couldn't believe it.
Off of turn 4, I know you were relying on that push from Zach Chapman. Any thoughts about side drafting the 13-2 at the same time?
I did. I seen Zach come up, and I thought personally he was going to take it 3 wide, so I went to block just a little bit, and it gave me just a good enough bump on the right corner without turning me. And then I knew I had to side draft the 13 to the finish. That was the only way I was going to get it done. And yeah, that's what happened.
Well, it was a great race for you, man. Congratulations on the win. Who do you want to give shout outs to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fast Daddy's Hot Rods, Main Street Auto, my teammates at Musa Racing and Graham Racing, Cody and John for helping me in that whole race. And yeah, I'd like to thank my mom and just everybody. Yeah, thank you.
The Moose has been let loose, man. Congratulations. Enjoy a great win.
Thank you.
Joe Masso is your winner. And again, we're going to take a look at this finish once more in real time. You know what? We should give a better angle. We've got a fan cam here. I want to see if the fan cam will give us a great shot of this one at the end. Let's see here. Believe this is the white flag here. Let's go from this fan cam. So coming to the line. You know what? That won't give us a good angle. Let's go from a drone shot. Right there. I thought Colin had it wrong with that there. And then out of nowhere, Joe gets it. So, man, what a night tonight of racing at Daytona. Your official results: Joe Masso, the winner, 0.02 of a second on Colin Johnston. Zach Chapman, third. Doyle Lawrence, fourth. Jacob Butcher, fifth. Steve Bixler, sixth. Corey Boudinot, seventh. Roland Olson, eighth. Bob Light, ninth. John Mateo rounds out the top 10. Tough break for Brandon Ishkanian in near the front with 2 to go. Was set up at the right time. And then went around 360. No caution came out. Brian Lawson involved in the final lap accident. Same with Isaac Salas and Jeff Kemper. Kemper had a great run going as well. Showing you 21st through 30th. Peter Thompson had a good run going early, then got in that accident with Bob Light. That put him into pit road. Didn't bring out the caution flag either. Jeremy Tate, part of the accident, went to overtime. Terry Landis was trying everything. He had some heart in him as well. And then round out the field in 31st this evening was Randy Shreve. So that'll do it for week 13. We run it back once again for our regular season this Monday with Monday Night Madness with the sprint cars. So glad you all could join us this evening on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. On behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, all the drivers and sponsors, Roger Craig and Preston Kramer, our fine admins. Shout out to Dean Reynolds in the booth with me during dirt races tonight. Murray Scala with you, signing off for the evening. Congratulations to your winners here this evening. So long, everyone.